Welcome back to the Abundant Harvest Homestead. I'm Papa Pepper. I have spent an incredibly hot, wonderful, beautiful day out here in the garden, getting a lot of stuff kind of taken care of. Some of it's pretty big. This whole thing used to just be radishes going to seed with a whole bunch of big rhubarb. All that chard was just everywhere. Now it's cut back. I'll talk about that later in this video quick. But all this chard is incredibly cut back now. And there's a lot of stuff going on. I still got some weeding to do back there, and then I'm getting some 10-foot T-posts for a project over there. But that's not what this video is about. What this video is about is kind of the phrase people say, you may have heard it, and what they say is to garden is to believe in tomorrow. And I get what they're saying, but I also think rather than just realizing every day we live so far, there was a tomorrow after it. I know one day each of our numbers will be up individually and then collectively, but to me, it's so much more than just, a belief in tomorrow. To me, to garden is to want to eat tomorrow. A lot of things have happened with the supply chain lately. A lot of things have happened in a lot of interesting ways, and I think one thing we may want to consider, especially with obviously, eventually it'll all be cashless, and ever since I got rid of the $500 bill and even just switched over from silver to paper, and now we're making coins more difficult, and they might stop making pennies next year. Like, cash has always been made to be more difficult for a while now, so that we can start progressing. Hopefully that's the only one. Start progressing towards a cashless society. But also, you watch. I was talking to a guy the other day, and he was talking about the quarters running out, coins running out. Quarters specifically. He says, yeah, we haven't had quarters in forever. He says, those might be worth 50 cents soon. I told him, you might want to watch those $5 bills. Those might be worth 50 cents soon. So, to me, it wasn't that long ago. We had the hyperinflation over in Zimbabwe. I don't know if you guys remember the $50 trillion notes or the $100 trillion notes they were printing over there. Use your money wisely while you got it and while it's worth something. That's one of the biggest things I'm going to suggest. But I'm also going to say that one of the reasons that I garden, that I'm standing out here in this massive thing here, is because I want to eat tomorrow. And I've got these little guys. See that one there? He's riding his bike around. Sometimes I ask him to give me a little bit of a distance when I'm recording a video so I don't get distracted, but seeing him right now is a good thing, see? I want him to eat tomorrow. That's why we garden. Here's what I've harvested today. Now this is only some of what I could harvest. Like I said, taking out the rhubarb. It'll grow back. I can harvest this probably 5 or 6 times a year. Awesome stuff. Getting some cucumbers in. In fact, I think I'm gonna snip down some dill too, and maybe make some refrigerator cucumbers. Just have them ready overnight, or whatever. Our tomatoes are finally starting to come in. We got a late start on those, and in fact the ones I planted were from a friend. The ones I tried to start, my pepper starting and tomato starting was horrible this year. Got another Desi squash my daughter planted. This is one giant pile of chard. In fact, I have a friend who mentioned Swiss chard quite a few times in our conversations, and that's that's a good piece of chard there. Just gonna say. It's been our best year growing it ever. The baby fat achacha cucumbers, originally got from American Homestead. Those are amazing. Thank you, Zach, for turning us onto those. Those will be a staple in our garden for many years to come. Then you might be wondering about those too. I specifically picked those to work into this video, and I brought them up when I was talking to some people just the other day too, because day lilies, I think these are like a double day lily, but they're a common plant. Somebody a while ago, I think, told me that the entire plant is edible. Now, I have not looked into the leaves. I've not looked into the leaves and the roots. I've looked into the flowers, okay? The flavor's really good, too. Man. To me, it doesn't have like a fruit-like flavor, but it's not like eating greens, you know. And you could say, well, it's not greens or a fruit. I understand that. I'm just saying it's tasty, it's got a good crunch, but it's also very delicious. And the reason I specifically picked a couple of those, one is if my friend shows up to pick up that shard, I want him to know. Two is I wanted you guys to know. A lot of people, especially when food gets scarce, begin to get rather desperate, and they get up to some things that really they shouldn't be up to. A lot of people, I believe, would easily trample over somebody's daylilies planted outside their window to creep into their house to go try to raid the refrigerator. You know, they would be crushing food while trying to go get some food simply because of a level of ignorance. That's why I'm trying to educate people, okay? Those are tasty. Do some research, you know, do your own research. Find a lot of places those are naturalized or wild, so, you know, do your own local wild edible expert type thing. But I'll vouch for, I believe those flowers are 100% edible. I think they're very tasty, very delicious, and I don't mind sharing that information. We had some friends over the other day. They had wanted to come over for a long time. I just said, why don't you show up? We'll do a nice garden tour. We'll pick as we go, and then when we get done, we'll have a nice salad and a nice stir fry, and that was amazing. We actually ate our first snake gourd of the year. It was right over here. I think right here is where I cut it off. But look at this one. That one comes all the way down to here. This thing's got to be like 4 feet long. It's over 3. It's heading up to 4 already. And the whole thing, right now I'd just snip the ends off of it. I wouldn't skin it. I wouldn't pit it. I would eat that whole thing. That's only 2 plants growing there. Besides that giant we've got, I'll show you from this side. You know, we've got a nice long one. That guy's gonna get some good distance. Another one over here. And then there's more. Man, that's amazing. You know, but the reason that I grow this, first of all, that could be 2 meals for my entire family. Oh, but thought that was a squash bug. But that could be 2 meals for my entire family. We've got 6 children right now, okay? Any plant that'll give us 2 meals off of just 1 fruit is insane. There's a reason it's one of my top 3 garden plants. But I plant not so much because I believe in tomorrow, but because I want to be eating tomorrow. I want people to be eating. I've spent, man, a couple days here really too, getting the arugula seeds, the mustard green seeds, the cilantro seeds, the kale seeds, just getting all that stuff ready to save for the next year, because we want to be eating next year too. It's not just that I want to eat tomorrow. I also want to eat the next year. And this is pretty cool. Looks like I'm getting a couple more beehives soon. The ones over there, they're still in the nuke, and I think a new queen for that. There is a queen in there. We found her if you saw that video, but I don't think she's doing what she should be doing. Somebody who was going to put an order in for some queens. Anyway, they tagged me on it and said they'd order one for me and would square up on it later. When I didn't think I had a queen, now that I have a queen, I still think I need to replace her, and we're getting kind of late in the year here, so I want to get that moving. But one cool thing is I like catnip and like to use it as a nice evening tea. I was about to cut it back before it really all went to seed, but then I noticed that the honeybees really like the catnip as well. So I'm glad to have something so close to them for them to be out here pollinating and getting their nectar and stuff so that they can go run back over there and make us some honey. Personally, I like it. Anything that can be beneficial to us, beneficial to our animals, I'm ready to look into. And even, you know, with harvesting this garden, look at this, guys. These are just the volunteer Malabar. I could start picking this now and never keep up with it all year. It's already a foot over the top of my thing, and I think I'm going to throw a rebar up here. I'm redoing some things in this area. There'll be some 10-foot T-posts down there. There we go. Those squash bugs. I don't like no squash bugs. They're on my volunteer birdhouse gourd plant. So here's one of the ones. It grew on its own, so we let it grow. And the cool thing too is we had chickadees nesting in this one on our snake gourd trellis. Okay, that one right there. Chickadees nested in there this year, and we'll see if anyone else does. Sometimes they'll nest multiple times a year and have, you know, multiple groups of babies. You know, their kids will be born the same year, just at different times. But Stuff like this too, where I plant it once, I never need to plant it again. It just shows up in my garden every year and gives me more greens than my family can handle all summer. You know, right now our mustard greens are out for the moment. Our regular kale is out. We've still got some dinosaur kale and some Russian scarlet kale going on. Our arugula is out for right now. A lot of that stuff's reseeding itself, which is really cool for a number of reasons. I'll get into that more later. But so if I've got a nice green that will show up and bless us all summer long, absolutely, absolutely fantastic. So guys, as you look at this harvest, know that yes, I do believe in tomorrow. But more than that, I want to be able to eat tomorrow. I want to eat this, next week. I want to eat next year. And to me, it's a blessing just to be able to have so much of this stuff on our own land, showing up and being delicious for us, and something that we can really enjoy. And I'll tell you what too, even Mama Pepper planted her first potatoes ever this year. She cooked us some for breakfast. We just had some breakfast burritos that were delicious with those in it. It's a family affair here. We eat together, but we also grow together. Not only spiritually, not only physically, but in the garden, we grow together too. So, sounds like my friend's calling. I'll see you guys next time. Papa out. Hello, hello. My apologies, I forgot one thing. These are the bulbils for the Egyptian walking onions. They are one of our favorites for sure. We definitely like them. They come in a lot of shapes and sizes. They're growing under here, but they're done with their first batch for the year. So I'm gonna collect them and get them ready. We will be offering, I know I still get questions about these all the time. We will be offering these for sale in our Etsy shop. We have nothing currently listed in our Etsy shop. We shut down at the beginning of this stuff and haven't reopened, but I will get a count, get some stuff going, and then some snake gourd seeds and some other stuff hopefully in the near future. I know people are asking. I've been up to a lot lately. I plan on it. I want to. My goal is that I will. So be patient, and I will definitely, it'll be a garden tour or a homestead tour, or some gardening or homesteading video. It won't be like a snake one or something. When I get these listed, I will make sure to mention that in a video. So stay tuned for that. And last time when we offered them last year, they sold out within a couple hours of mentioning it in the video. I have a limited supply, but keep your eyes open and we'll see what we can do. I forgot the noodle beans, red noodle beans, mosaic long beans are coming in too. So that'll probably be more like the cover picture. You may have wondered why they weren't in there earlier, because I didn't remember till the end, but look at those guys. These are amazing. Fresh, cooked, pickled, stir fries, in the soup, in a stew, frozen, whatever. They're amazing too, because I want to eat tomorrow. And those will produce for 3 or 4 months from me probably. I'll be eating them 3 months from now. Oh yeah. All right. Papa out.